Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. And in today's episode, probably hearing the fan go off because currently right now it is 84 degrees. I don't like hot weather. I think I'm going to just tell y'all that right now. I do not like hot weather. But anyways, I think I did an episode like this before. I think overall I will be doing a more updated version of it if I am doing it again. If not, then honestly, yeah, I'm just probably saying the same old stuff that I said in the episode before. But anyways, no, I just overall was like, you know what, no, I want to do some podcast episodes. So I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead, get them out the way, all that stuff, record whatever, because I know I got a lot of stuff. Feel like as I go along, I'll come up with some episode ideas. Also, I'm downloading some games right now, so I'm just doing stuff to kill time. But anyways, I wanted to overall talk on is it a hassle working in downtown Seattle? And I honestly feel like it can be a hassle depending on how you view it. But at the same time, there's a lot of job opportunities out there in Seattle. Compared to working somewhere outside of Seattle. Working in Seattle though, I feel like it's definitely good. I mean, if you can't find no work in your area, and plus I feel like you can honestly go anywhere and find buses that will overall take you to Seattle. I'm pretty sure in every city outside of Seattle, there's a bus that will take you inside of it and stuff. So anyways, to talk on my own experience and I guess to give you advice on stuff about working in Seattle and stuff. So I live outside of Seattle. And I always, every morning, took a bus to go in. There's never a moment where it was like, oh yeah, driving is an option. Nah. Because for those that have never worked in Seattle, and I feel like everybody should know that. I'm pretty sure it's like that in every major city. Parking is crazy. Parking is crazy expensive. And you sit in your car there for hours upon hours upon hours, and then there might be that day where you're like, so in case if you do decide, let me go ahead and just drive in and things today in Seattle. So you do that, and then you might be staying late, so you got to pay that extra money, and it's like you might not have that extra money to pay for parking and stuff. So that's why I had to say it's best get you an Orca card, and yeah, just catch the bus. You might struggle, depending on where you're at and how busy the buses are. Because that's why I always had took. There's the buses at the bus center, and then there was some buses outside of the bus center, and them buses have been there for the longest. But that was the thing though, those buses were old fashioned. They wasn't modern like the ones at the station. So that's the thing with the ones at the station. Yeah, they're gonna be more comfortable, but that's gonna be the problem. There's gonna be a lot of people there catching that bus. So that's why it's always best if you can find buses outside the station, they'll take you. Well, it just depends. See which ones are early, or see overall if there's gonna be ones that's not as crowded, and then see which ones are going to be crowded. But yeah, avoid the crowded buses. I'm telling you, you're gonna have it where people sit next to you. They're not gonna have no personal space. You might be arguing, or not arguing, but more so fight with people on the bus for room seats. Cause yeah, there's people that honestly will sit next to you, and it's bruh, I know that there are other seats that's the main reason why I had stopped taking the bus center buses, and I started taking buses outside of the bus center. Because there is this one time, and I'm telling you, people do that crap, and I feel like they do it on purpose. But there would be people, all right? And my thing is this. Look, I don't care if you got hot water or cold water. I know I'm gonna sound insensitive about that, but my thing is this: if you have a body odor, okay, please sit sit in a seat by yourself, but do not sit next to people. Wait for the next bus, do whatever. But I'm like, man, there's been times where people have sat next to me and they've had some of the most. No, there was a time where I remember this one woman, she sat. I'm like, my thing is you would think that she would sit next to her husband, right? There are seats available for her to sit next to her husband. No, instead she sits next to me. I'm like, I know she did that crap on purpose. But anyways, she goes, sits next to me. Body odor is smelling like, bruh, I'd rather smell a garbage can. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, I'd rather smell a garbage can. Like, it was that bad. So bad that somebody else, and I'm like, thank you to whoever that person was, but they sprayed some perfume on the bus. And I'm like, bruh, I would rather sit inside of a Victoria's Secrets the whole day, from sunrise to sunset to pitch blackness, okay, of the night. I would rather sit in the Victoria's Secret and just take in all them perfumes than to sit next to that woman for 1 second, okay? Like, nah, like, it was straight torture. And it's like, my thing is, like, I like to sleep on the bus. So, when you are having a body odor just, at your nose, legit got you in, like, a Samoa Joe, like, chokehold, right? Got you in a Samoa Joe chokehold. You can't sleep on that bus. There ain't no possible way to. I remember on that day I did not get no sleep on that bus, and so I'm like, man, lady, I made sure of it. I think that was like one of the last few times I remember. I seen them not too long ago actually, because there was a time where because I don't work in Seattle no more, but still I would go up to that bus station to catch buses to go back and forth to places and things. And I remember one time I seen them and I'm like, hey, yo, you keep that energy over there. Like, please do not get near me with that. But man, I'm like, there's been times where people have done that and I'm just like, nah, I'll catch the next bus. I don't care if I'm gonna be late getting home, I'll catch the next bus. But I'm like, I'm not going to, I'd rather wait the next, 30 minutes, because my bus, so the buses that I took, and that's probably like one of the worst things, is like, I had one of those buses where they would show up like every 30 minutes. And man, if they are late, so there might be times where they're late and you're gonna be sitting out there like for almost an hour. Like, there's been times like where I've sat outside for like a while, bruh, and man, I'm telling you, it was torture. It was torture at times waiting for them buses, but yeah, that's gonna be a problem. You might get a late bus. Like, depending on where you live, you might get one of those buses where they show up every like 5-10 minutes. So that's not bad. If you miss it, it's like, okay, I'm not tripping. But if you, like, one of my buses, if I miss the bus, like, oh, bruh, it's gonna be, man, that's why I always woke up early and showed up to work early. Every time, and I had to say, that's probably, if you have one of those buses where they show up, like, every 30 minutes, or, if it's an extended period of time, show up to your bus stop early. Don't be that person where you're like, oh, okay, well, if I show up at this time, then actually, because there might be times where a bus will show up early, and then you're gonna be late to work. So yeah, it's always good it's best to be early than to be late. So that was one thing that my job could never say about me, was that I was late. I showed up. The funny thing is the days that I was late, I would show up on time. Like, any other day, I'll show up maybe like an hour before work and stuff. Just be sitting around, chilling, talking with some of the other coworkers, cracking jokes with them and stuff. Show up early. And then there might be times where it's like, oh, okay, cashier ain't here today, so Tyler, I'm going to need you to clock in early. Cool, I'm already here, so I'm like, hey, I'm not tripping about that. I'm like, hey, that's just, that's more money for me at the end of the day. That's how I see it. So there might be something like that. Or, yeah, it's better than that than to be like, text or call up your supervisor or manager and being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit late to work and stuff. So, but no, it's funny though, because there were times where I would show up like, past like my, clock in time. And those guys were so chilled about it. Like, they never, because I showed up, I had like early minutes. You know how like you got like the rollover minutes on phones? I had early minutes, but I had like, bruh, like, nah, I had like freaking early years. The amount I showed up to work early for the 4 years I worked out there, I showed up to work early every single morning. There might have been a few mornings where it's like, okay, like not even a few. There probably might have been like 2, 3 mornings where I showed up like late past my time and stuff. But nah, them guys are chilled about it. They'll just crack jokes and things, and they gonna be like, they'll say some old funny stuff and be like, if there's gonna be an ongoing problem, you gonna have to go. And I'm like, bruh, but if they were being serious about it, I'm like, really? I'm like, but no, I knew they were joking and stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why it's always good. Make sure if you do work out in Seattle, make sure it's a place where it's like a good work environment. I feel like at times at that place we did have some like bumpy moments, but definitely like the last year working there and stuff, it was chill. I sat to say I was chill with everybody that worked there and stuff. So but first year I was working there, I did have or working at that cafe, I did have problems with the cashier and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I've talked on that, but I know a lot of you guys are new, so a lot of you guys may not, I try telling people, it's like, hey, in case if you missed out on something, it's probably best to go back and check on some of my older episodes, because I've talked on a lot of different things. Like, I feel like I've talked on like a good portion of my life and stuff. So but anyways, just for the new ones that are here and stuff, and you didn't even know if I had an episode out like this where I'm talking about working in Seattle and things. But anyways, back to the whole working in Seattle adventure and stuff. So yeah, buses covered. All right. So traffic. That's why I say show up to work, or get to your bus stop early and get on your bus early, because traffic may be crazy. And I had to say, like, every time when traffic was crazy, I still would show up to work early, because I woke up. I wasn't supposed to be there until like close to 8. So I would leave my house at like 6 something, right? And then overall show up. So I'm like, okay, there's like that time frame of like okay, traffic may be crazy, but not as crazy. It's still like moving and stuff. So there might be days where I'll show up to work at like, or actually no, I think I remember when I like the last year I was working there, they changed my schedule to where I was working at 7:45, and so. Yeah, but I'm like, I show up there like maybe like 7, 30, 7:40 or something like that. So I was always, but then there'd be them days where like traffic was a breeze, and then get into the heart of downtown Seattle at like 6 something, and then yeah, I'm like there for like a good like almost 2 hours, and so yeah, that's why I'm like, it's always good to show up early. Definitely do that. Pick up on that. If you guys set your alarm clock at an earlier time, but showing up early to work may be for some people, it may not be for everybody. I've always been an early bird person. I know I would wake up early to go to school. I would wake up early to for work. I woke up even during the summer times and stuff. I never slept in late, and even now I still don't sleep in late. That's why it trips me out when they'll say stuff like, I went to sleep. I'm like, man, you must have stayed up like late. Did you sleep at all last night? I mean, like, when did you go to sleep? And they'll be, if they say some stuff like, oh, I went to sleep at like 8 p.m. and woke up at like 4 p.m. You don't find that scary that you sleep for that long? Like, fam, like, okay, let's just count that up, because I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, when they be saying stuff like that, oh, I didn't wake up until like 4 p.m. I'm like, bruh, that's 4 hours away from when you went to sleep. Like, you don't find that scary. You slept for pretty much almost the whole day. Like, that's kind of freaky. That's kind of, that's weird. I'm like, I don't like that. Okay, like you gonna have to change that. But anyways, yeah, I'm like, I just don't know how a person can sleep, and then they'll be up, and then they'll just be like, oh, I'm chilling. I'm like, nah, that's not chilling. I'm like, that's some vampire type stuff. Nah, you on some Jeepers Creepers like type stuff. For you to be asleep that long, I'm like, nah, that's not good. That's not good. You definitely need to go get that checked out. I'm like, I'll be scared if I woke up at like 4 p.m. or something, and I went to bed at like 8 p.m. I'm like, that's 20, that's like 20, yeah, that's 20 hours, fam. Like, nah, that's scary. I'm like, nah, I don't want that. I don't want that in my life. So anyways, I can understand maybe if I like went to bed at like 11 a.m. or something, or went to sleep at 11. That ain't even like going to bed. That's legit taking a nap. Like, you didn't even sleep. You legit just took a nap and things. But and it was a long extended nap. So that's what I'll call that. But anyways, back on traffic and all that stuff. So yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, make sure you just leave work and stuff. So now you are in the heart of downtown Seattle. So what should you expect? Which things are you gonna come across? Well, first off, you're gonna come across crazy people. You are gonna come across some crazy people. I'll never forget, there's this one guy legit stopped me from going into work so he can give me advice on not marrying a white woman. And I'm like, bruh, I really, how petty I was, how petty I was being and how I was thinking and stuff. I legit wanted to just find some random white woman, start up a whole relationship with her, right? Start up a whole relationship with her, get married, find that guy, and bring her to him and be like, this is my wife, and look him dead in his eyes and be like, yeah, I'm not taking in that advice. I'm like, you stopped me from going into work. Like, bruh, if I had been late to being early, I'm like, I had beef with you. But no, I'm like, you'll have people that'll do stuff like that. You'll have people peeing on the sidewalks. I've never seen it, but I heard of it. People will poop on the sidewalks. That's how downtown Seattle is. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are on drugs and stuff. I ain't gonna say everybody, because I know the times where I've came across people out there, they were just homeless. They wasn't living no like crazy and reckless life and stuff. Like, no, they were just homeless. So like the crazy and reckless life, they had no choice but to take it. Not like crazy and reckless to the point they taking drugs and stuff, but just to the point where it's like, you out in the middle of downtown Seattle just trying to survive and stuff. And it's like, that's why it's like anybody in my position where it's like, if you have a job and you have a roof over your head, you saying that you're trying to survive, I'm like, fam, like I find that hard to believe. Like, you have survived. It's all about maintaining that place. But there's people out there where it's like, man, telling you that there's been times I've seen homeless people, and it's like, bruh, and I would at times get like tips from work. So I would go and just there'd be times where I'll give away my tips to some random homeless person, buy them food, drinks. I remember one time there was this mom with her kids, and I was like, bought them some water. What else? Man, I'm telling you, it was a lot of crazy things out there. Even there's this like one homeless guy. I remember after I bought him a sandwich, he remembered me, and so I was like, I always would like either dab him up, shake his hand, sit there and talk with them for a second. Like, it was some stuff where I'm like, man, it's crazy. That's one thing I've always thought of since I was in high school, is starting up or opening up a homeless not a homeless shelter, but like a homeless hotel, like buy some big old fat fancy hotel in downtown Seattle, and just overall help out, or anywhere, actually, honestly, anywhere, and just help homeless people get back on their feet. So it's all like, hey, you know what, you ain't gotta worry about living that survival life anymore. Like, I got you, okay? Like, those are some pats on the chest, but I'm like, just saying, I got you and stuff. But anyways, the homelessness out in downtown Seattle is crazy. Like, it's just wild at times seeing it. And but the one thing though about homeless people, they're not gonna ask you for money as much as the ones that be them animal activist people, the ACPCA or ASPCA. What was them people's name? ASPCA, man, called, yeah, ASPCA. Yeah, them people. Oh my God, them people will be up and down the streets of downtown Seattle, legit asking y'all for money. And my thing is this, I'm like, look, there's a website I know I can go to, and if I want to make a donation, I would go to that website. I'm not going to trust some sketchy person. You legit could have made that hoodie at the comfort of your own home. The funny thing about it, I know when I was creating merch stores and stuff, there's the one company that I went through called, well, they're now they're just called Spring, but they used to be called Teespring. But they allowed you to where you can make your own hoodies, so you can legit put FBI on there. You can legit put CIA or I'm a crazy man or some curse words or whatever and stuff. You can put whatever you want on there. Then people will print that stuff out. So my thing is you can just go somewhere and get that stuff made. And I'm like, fam, you think because you come at me with smiles and hugs, like I'm gonna trust you? Like, no, I don't trust you. I'm gonna go on the no here. Let's just go real quick. Yeah, you could go on the website and make like donations and stuff. They have it right there on Google before you even click anything. Just type up ASPCA. They would have donate to the ASPCA, change an animal's life, make a monthly gift, pledge to fight cruelty, memorial donations, honor donations. So you could just go to the website and donate. My thing is, it's like, why are you guys like, I would legit be like running back to work because there's the Nike store that was like right up the street from my job. So I would legit be like running back to work and stuff. And them guys be trying to like, like stand in front of you and things, being like, oh, you got time to talk about some animal cruelty? I'm like, no, I don't even like looking at the commercials. Why would I want to sit here and talk about, half of the time, they don't even like be talking about animals. They just be asking you questions and stuff, and then they just get straight to the donation thing. Like at least make me feel sad. Like they didn't even do that. They'd just be like, oh, so what you doing right now? I'm like, oh man, just getting ready to go up to the Nike store, buy me some Jordans or something. They're like, oh, sick, man. Like, yeah, I like your shoes. They're nice, man. I'm like, thanks, man. I'm like, these shoes they're pretty, they're expensive. They're pretty. I'm like, oh, how much they cost? I'm like, oh, well, these are like Air Jordans and stuff. These are like the, the official ones you wore on the court. And they're like, right. And then I'm like, yeah, they're about like 220. They like, dang, that's crazy. They're like, oh man, I could never. But anyways, I'm doing this thing for the ASP, and they just get straight on into the like donating stuff. And so you sitting there like, all right, yeah. So the conversation is now over about my shoes. Like, yeah, let's talk on this. It was funny though. I remember I lied. I straight up lied, and I was like, I think if I were to go back out to downtown Seattle and I see any of those people, I'm about to, I think that's what I need to do. Shave off my facial hair, go out there, try to disguise my voice a little bit. I don't even think I can disguise my voice to sound like no kid and stuff. Because my voice, even when I was in high school, my voice kind of sounded like this a little bit. It might have been like a little bit, a tad bit. Like I had to say like a pitch higher. But overall, like, it did get deeper and stuff. But anyway, and plus I'm like, I can't even like have it where my voice cracks anymore. Like that's how, deep, like y'all can hear my voice, of course. But anyways, but yeah, I'm like, bro, I remember the one time the lady, she came up to me and was telling me about it and stuff, and she was like, so first things first, you have to be over the age of 18 to do a donation. So can we start off with your age? I legit looked that woman in her face and said, I'm 17 years old. I didn't have my work uniform on, and the funny thing about it, I legit looked like a student. I looked like a child. I had my backpack on, I had my stuff in my backpack. And I was just all like, oh, no, I'm 17 years old. I was just out here. I think I was like visiting family or something. And she was like, oh my God, you look so much older. I'm like, because I am. I'm old enough to drink, but I'm not going to be old enough to donate. Not today. So I straight up lied to that woman. But no, it was like at times like, they would be cool and then they just get you sucked into donating some crap. And I'm like, man, y'all is worse than Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, dang, I'm just trying to go somewhere and y'all want to like, that's why it's like, no, me and my friend Jack, the one I always mention and talk about, me and him, anytime we would see those people, we would legit start up a conversation, talking about whatever. Jack would legit look at me. He like, yeah, man, so the music, we about to start that album up. And I'm like, yeah, bro, how's that going? And I'm like, we had that connection where we could just start up a conversation right there on the spot. So that's the one thing, Jack. I don't even know if he will hear this episode, but I appreciated you for them conversation starters. And we were just carrying on after that. Then you know what? Then at times, we were just carrying on, but then we were just good actors. We were good actors and stuff. We were just a modern day version of Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire and stuff. So anyways, but yeah, I was like, ain't that man's name? I think that's that man. Hold on for a second. Tobey. Because I don't want to say some random name and then next thing you know, everybody's like, who's Tobey Maguire? I'm like, look, all right, I had the name, like, what's going on with my laptop? All I'm trying to do is search it. Okay, that's that man's name, okay. No, because them two used to be cool. They did the one movie, The Great Gatsby, together. But no, they had like photos of them when they were kids and stuff. I was like, that's sick. But anyways, but yeah, it was like we would do that, cross the street. Oh, then the dudes that be trying to sell their mixtape out on the street. I'm like, hey, bro, like I said, once again, the internet exists. You got to promote that stuff on the internet. Can I just tell y'all right now, to anybody that be in downtown areas or malls anywhere, like talking kind of like off topic and stuff, because this happened outside of Seattle. This actually happened at the local mall that I go to. But anyways, this guy legit came up to me and was all like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to sell my mixtape to get the kids off the street and all that stuff." And I was wondering, because it's only about, I think he said it was like $10-$20 or something. I'm like, first off, I am not spending no $10-$20 on a rapper I've never even heard of. I'm like, fam, if you ain't in a Spotify playlist, I ain't even trying to sound rude or be rude, but I'm just saying, like, bro, if you ain't on a Spotify playlist, I'm not gonna check. Like, even if you're just not on Spotify or on the internet, you out here trying to do things the 2005 way. I'm like, bro, like, even then they were still promoting their music on the internet. So it's like, fam, you got to, nah, bro. But anyways, I'm like, nah, man, I ain't got no cash on me right now. This dude, no joke, legit, brought out a credit card swiper, plugged it into his phone, and was all like, "Oh, I take credit and debit too." I'm like, bro, I'm not buying it. All right, I'm not even a kid. I'm like, you telling me like I'm the one on the street? Do I look like somebody that be on the streets? No. I'm like, I'm in here wearing a freaking TMossBoss hoodie. Get out of here, bro. Like, please don't. But anyways, but yeah, I'm like, man, I don't know, maybe I look like I belonged on the streets, and that's why he approached me. And I'm like, fam, if I was a kid and I'm already on the, you think an album is gonna change my life? No. It's all like, man, you gotta go somewhere else with that. Like, I hope the best for him in his career, and same for the guys in Seattle, but man, I'm telling you, like, I'm not with that, but anyways, but yeah, I'm like, you have it where people will be doing that all up and down the streets, asking for more money than the homeless people. I'm like, bruh, that's why I'm like, I never supported any of that stuff. It was funny because it was them animal activist people, the AAS, PCA people. I remember, I have just bought my PlayStation 4 VR headset, and I was walking, down the street to go to the buses and stuff. And the lady, she goes and stops me because she know I had like this big old bag with it and stuff. And so she goes and she was like, telling me about it and things. I was just like, sorry, I just, I just bought this freaking expensive VR headset. You really think I want to give out any more? I need my money for the week. Like, not for the week, but for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the week. For food and stuff. You think I'm out here really looking up? Like, my thing is this: if I want to give y'all money, I will approach y'all and be like, I'm ready to donate. If I'm walking and minding my own business, trying to go home, I'm trying to go home and play with this VR headset. I ain't got time to be out here having conversations and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I'm like, man, she got mad too. She was mad over the fact that I did that. I was just like, I don't have the money. She legit looked at the box because it was in this big old like GameStop's bag. She was like, have a nice day. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, because I'm trying to go home and have a good rest of the day. So I'm like, can you just, go hassle some old people. They don't be knowing what y'all talking about half of the time. So they just donate just because they just see some kid approaching them talking about, oh yeah, give us money and stuff. So, but anyways, man, I'm telling you, like, that was, after a long days of work, like, I really don't want to be bothered. So that's why I'm like, hey, yo, like, man, I'm telling you, like, after work, because I would be working there from like 8 to 3 o'clock, and then it really just depends, like, who's there and who's not there. So we have a full staff. Yeah, we working from like 8 to 3. Day's gonna go by pretty fast and stuff. We all getting our things done. But I remember there was a time frame where it was just me and Jack just working there. Like, we was working there just me and him by ourselves, and the location that we work at requires 3 people to be there. So we sitting there running around doing this like extra work for whatever reason. I'm like, bruh, I don't care if y'all gotta bring in an infant to do the work. Do something. But I'm like, dang, bro, I was constantly getting on them guys about that. That's why I sit down and think about it. I'm like, hey, yo, what was I doing demanding stuff there? I'm like, I was just a cashier. I legit called for a meeting one time. I was like, I talked to the one manager because I was cool with her. And I was like, hey, yo, we need to do this meeting so we can get somebody hired on. Because me and Jack, we ain't getting the help that we need. We sitting there running around. People want to drop bottles and glasses and all that stuff and break it. And they looking at us like, I'm like, fam, I know we're supposed to clean it. But I'm like, dang, I'm ringing up hundreds of customers on the register. And then I got the other manager talking about, oh, I need you to take these sodas and boxes back in. Bro, I'm like, I'm telling you, there were days where I'm like, hey, yo, I should just stay up the whole night recording nothing. But that's why during this pandemic I took YouTube so seriously, so I don't have to go back to that place. I'm like, and I'm doing perfectly fine with YouTube and with what I got going on right now. So that's why I'm like, I could not go back to that. I was like, bro, no. I was like, I'm definitely making sure of it, that I do the best that I can with YouTube. But yeah, eventually they ended up firing everybody because they was like, we can't support y'all no more and stuff. So I'm like, hey, I'm chill with that. You ain't gotta tell me twice. So it was funny because I remember when the dad manager, he called me up and was all like, oh yeah, everybody was laid off. So I'm like, I wasn't even mad. I was like, hey yo, I'm actually kind of happy. Like, I feel like that's a sign right there. So anyways, but yeah, I was like, but no, it was like after a long days of work, like I really don't want to be bothered. There was this one day, and I'm like, that's how I knew I was tired. I was so tired. So after work, I had already had left, and I'm walking to the bus stop. Jack was right there behind me, but I didn't know. So anyways, I'm at the crosswalk just standing there. I'm like, bro, I'm thinking in my head, I'm about to take the fattest nap when I get on this bus. Jack, he legit walked up on the side of me. I did not recognize him. I told him. So no, I was all like, cause I looked at him and he was just like looking at me smiling. So I kind of just like gave him a head nod and just looking forward. I was like, oh wait a minute, that was Jack. And so I took my headphones off and I was like, oh man, I was like, my bad. And so then it got like maybe further down the sidewalk. I was like, Jack, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't recognize you back there. And he was like, I know you didn't. He was like, I know you didn't recognize me. And I'm like, man, that's how tired I was. Somebody that I've seen, he had glasses on though. He had on, that's going to be my defense. Bro had on sunglasses. So I'm like, that's my defense. I'm like, I ain't going to, stand here and be accused of being a bad friend for not recognizing. You know how many people I've seen, like, he ain't the first one that died. I remember I didn't even recognize, my dad had worked in my building at one point in time because my dad's a construction worker. And so there was a time, I thought that was sick though, my dad working there. But anyways, he was working on one of the upper floors. And I remember he walked up on me and stuff, and I'm looking, I'm just like, oh, wait a second. So I'm like, fam, Jack ain't the first person. My dad ain't even the first person. I've done that with so many friends of mine at school where it's all like, they done like punched me in the arm or, did something to the back of my head. And I'm looking, and I'm just like, oh, that's, I'm like, oh, okay. And so, yeah, I'm like, I stayed doing that. I don't know why I do that and stuff. But I'm like, I think when I'm just like really tired, I'm like, yeah, I don't recognize people. But it was, I remember when that happened with my dad, I was all like, it was early in the morning. But once again, my defense is that I was tired. So anyways, but yeah, I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, it was exhausting working out there at days. And then I know Jack, so because I'm pretty sure everybody knows about his the band that he's in, Monitor. So there was a time where they had took a vacation to go record the their album and stuff. He took like 2 different vacations. He took one vacation to go out on tour, and then he did another vacation to go and record their album and stuff. So I think at that time, our friend Melissa was working with us, and so it was just me and her. And I'm trying to think, what time frame was it? I remember there was a day where I was the only cashier there. And I can't remember if it was a day where it was just me and him that was working and Melissa hadn't been working there yet, or if it was me, I'm trying to think. It was at some point in time, but I remember it was a day where I was the only cashier there. So I'm doing all of this work. I'm helping out in the back. I'm of course, doing, front of the house stuff. And then, what else? I'm telling you, I remember I was walking. I definitely wouldn't have recognized him that day. I'll never forget that day, because I remember once when I left, I was like, my whole body was like legit in pain. Like, I remember I can barely walk a little bit. Like, you guys think I'm playing or think I'm exaggerating. I'm like, nah, because alright, so just to overall explain to you guys, like, because I feel like I talk on this place all the time. So to explain to you guys, like, and I don't know, I'm gonna say it was an average day. It was an average day because I don't remember it being, I remember it being busy, but I also don't remember it being slow. So I'm like, it was like I said, an average day. It was busy at times, but it wasn't busy the whole time. But anyways, so as soon as I show up, and I remember because, yeah, they was just like, oh, no cashier, you're gonna be the only cashier here today. So anyways, I clock in, I'm opening up, putting out coffee pots, and there's like these big two like giant coffee pots, so I'm carrying that, and then plus like, you know, catering's doing their thing, so they got all the carts. So I'm like, oh my god, like, man, I'm like, can y'all please order more carts so I'm not holding, I'm telling y'all, like, I built my strength up at that place. But anyways, so I'm carrying 2 coffee pots, doing that. Then there's the decaf coffee pot, so I'm doing that. And then, or no, that's usually at the end of the day. No, it's like filling up the coffee, but still, it was like, you know. But I'll get to the end. I'll get to the end and stuff. So, anyways, opening up, putting things out, cleaning up everything, make sure, you know, stuff is cool and ready to, you know, go and stuff, stocking shelves, all of that. So breakfast hour, probably about 100 people come through. So 100 people come through. Then it's at the turnover hour from 10 to 11. Transforming all the breakfast stuff into lunch stuff. So I gotta take a bunch of things back, throw a bunch of stuff away, bring a bunch of stuff out, cleaning up the area, sweeping, and all of that stuff. So now it's 11 o'clock. And I think I'm trying to think. I probably might have taken my lunch at 11. So, all right, so, you know, I get that 30-minute break. All right, that 30-minute break. Oh yeah, then a 10-minute break. But so those are like my breaks: a 10-minute break and a 30-minute break. So take those breaks, get them out the way, do my lunch thing, get my protein shake. Probably should have got a Red Bull, but anyways, got my protein shake. You know, drank that, chilled with the one manager that I was cool with. Came back, clocked in. All right, so lunch hour from 11 to 2 o'clock. And so from 11 to 2, non-stop customers. The only time where there hasn't been a time where customers come through during the lunch hour is during the Christmas vacations, and that's it. But it's like Thanksgiving, that week, busy. Any other week, busy. I think there was one time, though, where I remember it was the 4th of July week, and that was the first time I experienced where it wasn't as busy and crowded and stuff. So anyways, so yeah, from 11 to 2, non-stop customers coming through. Then there's that one uncoordinated customer that likes to come through and balance stuff, and then next thing you know, they drop the glass bottle. So now, you being the only cashier at the register, and you're ringing up people after people, so you gotta like tell them, wait a minute, because I need to go get a wet floor sign, put it over the broken glass, kick it all in place so nobody don't slip on it. So you do that. And then, oh yeah, and plus the managers, they're in the back just chilling and stuff. And so I'm out there just doing my thing. But anyways, and then there was the one manager, but she was like manager and also like catering manager. So of course, like, catering is like, so I never tripped on her because I was just like, okay, you know, you gotta do your catering thing. I don't want you being late to no event, fooling around with me and stuff. So I'm like, it's cool, I got it, don't worry about it. But there was the other managers where I'm like, hey yo, I need help. So anyways, go freaking do all that, ringing up customers, and then the line might get crazy. So now I'm using both registers. I'm all like, okay, some of y'all come to this side, so I'm going clicking on both of them. Not even able, then they got it where like the receipts be taking forever to print out, so you guys sit there for a second and let the thing process. And oh my god, it's like, even talking about it is exhausting. So anyways, it's that, okay, non-stop from 11 to 2 o'clock, okay? So probably around like that, like 1:30 to 2 o'clock moment. It's like, or maybe not even that, like 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, it does get slower and stuff. But there are, you know, still customers coming through and things. So anyways, then there's that. So from 2 o'clock to maybe 3:30, I'm cleaning up the whole cafe, all right, the whole cafe. So I'm cleaning up the coffee area. So that's when I take the 2 coffee or the 3 coffee pots, carry them, not all three of them, just carry out two, then take that last one, clean them all out, put some coffee grounds in it, and then wipe up that area, put a new honey thing there. I still remember everything because this was a non-stop 4 years, every single day. So, and I never took any days off. So anyways, there might have been like 1, 2, 3 days I might have taken off. But anyways, so I go and clean up that area, put honey thing there, make sure everything is filled, sugars, teas, all that stuff. Clean the soda area because people be liking to leave ice and take. Oh, and that was like the one nasty thing that people like to do. That they'll take like some lemon slices because there was lemon slices over there for people that wanted to put in their tea or drinks or whatever. And so, anyways, go and they'll put like the lemon slices at the bottom part for where it drained. So then if that thing clogged up, then you gotta call the manager gotta call out like a person to, fix the soda machines, call them out to fix it. So then there might be that. So you gotta take all these nasty, slimy lemon slices. I put on gloves. I was like, I ain't touching that because I'm like, I don't know what be going on in people's mouths and stuff. So anyways, I'll go and put on some gloves, take that, throw it away. So that area is good. Now I gotta do my thing where I'm wiping down because the cafe was actually a pretty big size cafe. So they had like all these different glasses there. So I'm cleaning up all the glasses, cleaning up all the countertops, and then taking some things back. Once when all of that was like all set up and out of the way, then I'm setting up breakfast and all of it, or putting some of the like dry items that didn't need to be refrigerated, and overall put those things out. So then once that's all good, I'm like, all right, cool. But wait, there is more. Okay, the commercial ain't over yet. So then I'll look at the like soda where like I had to stock up sodas for the freaking the shells or something, like the soda shells or whatever they call them. I don't know. But anyways, so I had to stock up the soda shells. So you're going all the way back. Now you have a cart. But let's just throw in a little twist to it. It's the broken cart. So you're holding up, bruh, I'm telling you. All right, to just get off topic a little bit, but still on topic. There was a day where I remember them guys told me that I had to go to all 3 locations. So one location was across the street. Another location was down the street. So I had to go out my way to. So actually no. So I went across the street to the one location to get the sodas. Took down the cart up the street to go to the other location that's down the street from my job. So I'm doing that, sweating up a storm because I'm holding the cart up, but each layer of the cart is filled with sodas, okay? So I'm holding that cart up and also like pulling it at the same time up, like not a big hill, but it's kind of like it's like a small, like a minimum size hill, all right? So I'm doing that, but like pulling it up that hill, sweating up a storm, get to the front part of the building just for the doorman there to be like, hey bro, you're gonna have to go around back because if you go up the elevators, I'm gonna get in trouble. So now I'm worried about this man's job, and I'm like, okay, well I don't want him to get in trouble, so now I gotta take this thing all the way around, and then it's like, okay, one of them like minimum hills, but there was this ramp that you had to go up to up to the elevators or the freight elevator and things. So I'm pulling this thing and also holding it up at the same time. Doing that, okay, using 2 strengths that didn't even need to be used that day. Doing that just to get to the freight elevator. I don't have a key card. So now, okay, I gotta text these guys. I gotta go out in the middle of the street, text these guys, because you ain't got no cell phone service in the freight elevator area. So now I gotta go back out in the middle of in that like alleyway, not the street, the alleyway. Text these guys and be like, hey yo, I'm outside, somebody gotta, come down and get me because overall I'm like, I ain't got a key card. So I gotta wait for them, still holding this thing up, bring the sodas up, take that all off, and then I got or take off the sodas that they need. So now I'm going all the way to my location. Once again, I don't have a key card, so I'm gonna have to, because I can't go in the front. And so now I gotta go around back, do the same there. And man, I remember that day I told them guys, I'm like, hey yo, y'all need to make me a key card, because I'm like, you guys gonna have me traveling back and forth to places, it would be helpful to have a key card. That's all I ask for, all right? So anyways, I'm like, I don't mind doing all the dirty work, but I'm just saying, at least give me all of the tools to do the dirty work, all right? So anyways, so actually now back to the end days of work. So now I gotta do that, stock up the solar shells and all of that. So then counting out my register. So now I gotta use my mathematics to make sure that the register is at $300. So I'm doing that. Then I might mess up. I might be a few cents short. I might be a few dollars short. Shoot, I might even be a whole $100 short. So now I gotta figure out that out. Oh, I forgot to carry the one in one of the problems. So now I gotta do the thing all over again, count up all of the money, put all the money. So I'm like, oh my god. So man, so I'm sitting there doing that. It's like 3:30. I'm like, bro, I just want to go home and record some YouTube videos, man. I'm just doing too much right now. So anyways, do all of that, clocking out. I'm tired. I'm walking, and I'm like, bro, I would lay down right now in the middle of this sidewalk and go to sleep. Okay, just go to sleep. And yeah, I remember I got on that bus, bro. I just put my music in, and I just laid there, and I felt lovely. Okay, them bus naps, bro. I'm telling you, it is no joke. Them bus naps, I miss them bus naps, bro. I honestly do. That'll probably be the only reason why I would work in Seattle. But I would want like some content creating job. I don't want no freaking I don't want no more restaurant food related jobs. I'm like, that's just doing too much. So anyways, yeah, I'm like, I'm good. Y'all can, do that on your own well-being. I don't want to work in the food industry no more. My food industry days are over. I have retired from the food industry. I will no longer, under any circumstances, work on the food industry again. I'm like, can't do that to myself. So anyways, but would I work in Seattle again? Of course. Like I said, I'll do like some content creating job. But of course I'll work in Seattle again. I actually didn't mind working in Seattle. It was like, fun being out there, because there was a lot of I'm telling you, there's a lot of stores that you can go to, from freaking sneaker stores. You gotta love the sneakers. Their freaking Nike was down there, bro. The Nike store was down there. So I'm like, man, I would live in Seattle, but I'm like, freaking, nah, I'm like, that's just too expensive. If I did that, I had to be one of them YouTubers making like $10 million a year or something, and just give me some old nice fancy penthouse and stuff in downtown Seattle. I'll do that. I would like that and stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, overall, like, Seattle is chill. I just wouldn't want to work in the food industry again. I'm like, can't do that to myself anymore. So, but anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Man, I don't think I've done a 40-something minute long episode in a while. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for some more episodes. Like and subscribe if you're viewing this on YouTube. Follow and subscribe if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Make sure you subscribe to all 34 of my YouTube channels, and follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch at TMossBoss. Make sure you also do the same for my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss, and it will knock $20 off your next purchase. And that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.